Okay, we talked last night. There were 6 in the blood round.
Yeah.
Right, it was like yesterday afternoon, right before the right, and it was like, oh, we got 6 in the blood round. You were a little deflated after the quarters, right? Felt like that a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's an emotional roller coaster of the tournament, and we had 4 that we punched through in the blood round. That felt great, but you never want to leave any of your guys behind. And Gary and Munoz have had such a stellar year for us and have so many special moments. We just want them to have that moment. But unfortunately for Gary, he doesn't get a chance. Trey does. He has a couple more chances. Kind of hijack the thread. The interview is the impact that Gary Traub and Corey Crooks has had in our room is almost more valuable than anything I've had in the program. From day one, those guys have stepped in and been leaders by example. Immediately, just everybody just started raising their game up, watching them, just how they train, how they live, and then showing them that they can win at Oregon State. When Gary won that Vegas tournament, it was a huge statement for us. That's a big tournament with a lot of upsets that he pulled, and it showed everybody that you can come to Oregon State and win.
Willits brothers, they got the job done. Willits brothers got after it, right?
It was really just those guys. They are gamers. They like to compete, and I know that's a cliche everybody says, but they really, really want to get to that next level. And I remember last year it was a little bit of, as a program, when you saw people lose at the NCAA tournament, it was a little bit like, okay, well, I did it. I tried my hardest. Today we saw a lot of emotion, like real pain. And that was just kind of like the whole last year and a half we've been working on changing who we are, changing our identity as a program, and those guys expected to win.
Kaler at 25.
BK, he came out on fire, and the kid's good. The kid caught him in a move and then got the win. But the best thing about Brandon is, I don't know if he might be maybe the most improved wrestler in the nation. You talk about a guy that wasn't ranked in top 30, I think, coming into the year.
That's wild.
He went 0-2 at Nationals last year, and he probably has, I think I counted up, but he has like 4 or 5 wins against top 10 guys this year, and multiple near misses. He lost to, a couple of really good guys, but for him, it was just about believing in himself and getting the experience of the NCAA tournament and, that trial by fire a little bit.
Devin Turner.
He's just been a mainstay of the program. He's kind of been through it all. Kind of give you a little hidden story about him. We didn't even know last year if we were going to get him back because there was a snafu with the NCAA from the previous coaching staff with his medical hardship paperwork. That it was like 3 days before the duel, the NCAA ruled him eligible because we were
was
just
it like
sitting there.
End of June?
Yeah, it just was a weird thing. Like you had to put a certain amount of matches on your medical forms, and it just didn't happen. I don't know what happened, but it was really weird. So this are things that he's had to go through, and he's just been like that constant mainstay. Doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, and it's really great to see him go out as a Beaver great.
In year 1 year and 8 months, I keep taking months off.
Yeah.
It's about 1 year and about 10 months, right? Because you got hired in May, right?
Yeah.
It's like May.
April. May.
So it's like not even year 2 full, right?
Nope.
Are you where you thought you would be? Are you ahead? Are you behind? 4 All-Americans in year number 2. You're 1.8.
We're ahead of schedule, and there's going to be some things that we want to do within our program to take that next step up into the next level. And it's been such a wild 2 years for everybody, but even the guys in our program, that we had to kind of take a step back and say, okay, what do we want to do? Who are we? Where are we going to go? I'll be honest, no one knows how you're going to do until you do something, but I had a good feeling about this team the whole year that you just saw continued improvement. And I mean, it got to the point where we just kept pulling upset and upset and upset individually, that we were kind of like, well, maybe we're just underranked. Maybe we're actually good. Maybe we actually can go out there and wrestle. And it was like kind of weird. Like Grant, well, it's like, you know, he beat a top 10 guy and dropped 2 spots in the coaches ranking. We're like, I don't know why that happened, but you're better than that. You really are a good wrestler.
The West just doesn't get respect. We know that. The West
does,
does not get that much respect.
There's some very, I hope that will change very fast. There was a pretty interesting statistic on Twitter today. If you go and look at like Grant Leeds, and I'm off the top of my head, we had 23. I think we had 23 national qualifiers out of the Pac-12, and 13 of them All-American. There's something crazy.
50% of your qualifiers are All-Americans.
Over 50% of
That's unbelievable.
Yeah, well, that's where, you know, you don't have to go to the Big Ten to win. You can come to the Out West. You can come out
I've been
West
telling people for years.
Yeah.
Build the dam.
Yeah,
Build the dam.
definitely.
Tony Rotundo says build the dam. I love it. Our parade of
Oh,
All-Americans.
you get these guys in. Grant. Yeah,
Look,
come on.
look at these guys. Look at these guys. Look at them. Look at them. All of them. Oh, guys. Good job, guys. All right. You got to watch these guys in the parade. Congratulations, guys. He's just talking all the good stuff he can about you guys right now, all right? All right. I'll let you get with your guys. You got anything else for me?
No, that's it.
Go Beavs.
Yep, we'll be.